Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to some more Yeti's Parole Officer. I'd like to apologize for some of the quality of the last two videos. There may have been a loud noise in the background. That was because it was so cold in the house that I had to have a heater blowing air right behind me. So hopefully that that noise is no longer present for you. Also, I've got a new program that I'm editing with, and it's making things a little bit difficult on me because of some bugs and some audio things with it. But it's 5 a.m. I'm sleepy, but it's time to play some Yeti's Parole Officer. So let's do that. Read through whatever. So last time we jumped on a ship. It was into chapter 1. This is chapter 2, I think. So let's go. Pulsing neon. Hyperspace is beautiful and deadly all at once. Surrounding your ship on all sides, pinks and yellows merge and meld around you, shot through with thin purple lines like the filaments of a light bulb. It's so far removed from the grays and greens of your childhood home that it still makes your head hurt a little. Waves of energy pummel the ship. Warp gates, the doorways to hyperspace, are the key to bridging the gulfs of interstellar space, but they're highly unstable, and even more dangerous. For that reason, they're highly regulated. Sometimes an illegitimate gate appears on the grid, but that's like punching holes through a delicate web. The PGPB always jumps to shut them down. Boom. Another shockwave shudders the length of your ship. Conditions in hyperspace are usually dicey at best. Please excuse the yawns, it's early, but you haven't seen the pulsations this bad for years. A console light blinks. That last pounding damaged one of your gyroscopes, the instruments to help you navigate hyperspace. You can try to fly completely manually, but there might be a few technical tricks to test out. Then again, you're not used to piloting this type of ship. The ship lists to one side. You've got a choice to make. You've got to make a choice. Let's see. I was told to check my stats, so I'll do that. Resolve, persuasion, combat, stealth, observation, justice, rule bender. That doesn't seem like that's going to help me here. Let's work with our remaining scopes. I got this. There's no sense in fully deactivating the gyroscopes. Sure, they're damaged, but that doesn't mean they're useless. Between the bits of information they're feeding you and your own piloting skills, you should get through all right. Colors belt the ship. Pinks, yellows, and oranges that are somehow just slightly wrong. There is no rhyme or reason to anything happening in hyperspace, at least none that you can detect. At last your ship limps through the gate back to regular space. A quick diagnostic confirms your suspicions. Your preoccupation while piloting has resulted in more damage. Nothing to do now but send a maintenance request and wait for the wheel to upbraid you. Oh, and investigate the planet below. Cloud race across the surface of Spheron. It's about the size of Earth, but smaller enough that you have a slight spring in your step from the reduced gravity. Even from orbit, you spy red and blue lights piercing the cloud cover, most of them concentrated at one specific point, at the strip. Ooh, the strip. We go into Vegas. Descend. Once seen, never forgotten. With cloaking up to maximum, you hover over it, searching for an inconspicuous place to land. The strip itself is a wide thoroughfare, studded with neon and scrolling marquees easily 5 times your height. Tangled alleys and lanes spill off the main street. There's less neon there. The deals run shadier, and the tourists fear to tread some of the dimmer byways. No fear here. There's a vacant lot not far from the strip. You wedge the ship into a distant corner and disembark. Immediately, you wince. A steady drizzle falls on your head. It feels like the dampness is seeping right into your bones. Street lights shine off the slick streets, almost like they're pointing you to the strip. But before you can start investigating, you need a plan. Let's see. I'm stealthy. I got 71% stealth. I think I'm going to pass as another smuggler. Let's do that. Tourist seems like I'm not going to get much done. Full uniform is going to reveal me, so another smuggler. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes a PGP agent goes rogue. When that happens, they're cut off, left to fend for themselves. A few humans have gone that route, so you're not stretching plausibility too far. You need one last touch for your smuggler to get up. What's it going to be? Let's do a wide-brimmed hat. That'll be reminiscent of my days in the 1800s. Instead of a bow tie, jacket, or fake scar. Let's do a wide-brimmed hat. Whew. You hit the strip, but don't stay long. A real smuggler wouldn't waste time among the flashing lights. If you're looking for trouble, you go straight to the source, the knotted back streets. Most aliens give you a wide berth, but you sense some appraising gazes. Just as you're fruitlessly turning another corner, there's a commotion up ahead. There's a bat-like Chupacabra pressed against the wall, surrounded by a cadre of spheroids. She looks like a skinny bat about your height, and she's trembling. Large ears pressed flat to her skull, eyeless face pointed downwards. The spheroids have guns. Let's see. You want to walk by, charge to the rescue. I take the information for a later arrest. Let's try to defuse the situation. What's happening here? As one, the spheroids turn towards you, and almost immediately they attack, leaving you in a heap in the gutter. Wow. At least your heart was in the right place, though that's small consolation as you stagger down the street. Finally, down a dead-end alley, you find a hungry-looking Ursus. His fur bristles as you draw near. What? He says. Look, you answer. I've had a very bad day. I'm looking for products from Earth. Aren't you from Earth? You forced laughter. Sharp brain you got there. What makes you think I'm allowed back? The Ursus shrugs. Fair point. Can you help me or not? And Ursus is what the Yeti and the Mothman monster are? Maybe. The alien shakes his shaggy head. Got any coin? You do, and at this point you're willing to pay just about anything. Soon enough he takes you to a bar set well back from the main road. He doesn't stay long though. Once you hand over his payment he disappears. Dirt streaks the bar's window. The name is barely visible under all the filth, but you can still make it out. The Bastion V. Once it was a favorite haunt of the Jackalope, one of the most slippery members of the galactic criminal underworld. Jackalope's one of those, like, rabbits with the antlers, right? Inside, aliens hunch around battered tables. They clutch cracked mugs and clouded bottles, murmuring to each other as you head to the bar. Give me a... Wait, what are you drinking? I don't know what any of these things are. Bad Wolf sounds cool. Let's do Bad Wolf. That's what I drink. I drink a Bad Wolf. Sipping your drink, you scan the crowded room. There's a low rumble of conversation. Did that change my stats at all? I'm even more of a rule bender now, it looks like. Sipping your drink, you scan the crowded room. There's a low rumble of conversation. It's not as rowdy as you expected, but as your dear old grandmom used to say, the river runs silent when the water is deep. Something's up. You just need to find out who's got the goods. I chat up the bartender. I take a surveillance position. I set a cunning trap. Let's chat up the bartender. They always know what's up. Reapproaching the bar, you flash the bartender a smile. I'll take another, please. The bartender's a Chupacabra. His hairless snout quivers as he polishes a glass. Thirsty, are you? You nurse your drink, but no matter what you do, you can't get the bartender to open up. Not even a big tip will do it, and so you're back to square one. Sipping your drink, you scan the crowded room. There's a low rumble of conversation. It's not as rowdy as you expected, but as your dear old grandma used to say, blah, blah, blah. I guess we're already looking around, so we might as well set a cunning trap. Now, where will the aliens be vulnerable? The answer is obvious. There are plenty of historical examples of traps set in bathrooms, and so you slip through a back hallway to the facilities. This bar has four different rooms for use by 11 distinct genders. Honestly, that seems a little restrictive. Which door do you choose? 1, 2, 3, or 4. 3 sounds like a good option. Behind that door, there's a few battered sinks and some stalls. You grab the one at the end and lie in wait. Not that you have to wait long, the door opens again shortly and claws click across the dirty linoleum. There are sounds a few stalls down, and then the sink runs. You open the door. Creak! A Chupacabra washes his paws. Mangy fur grows in patches across its flanks and down his spine. For a Chupacabra, he actually has a fairly thick pelt. You come racing out, but the Chupacabra sees you in the mirror. Without rustling one greasy hair on that pelt, he flips you, steps on your chest while washing his paws, spits, and leaves. If only he just wounded your pride. Alas, you've got a couple of nice bruises now. Then your communicator flashes. Tweel won't call you undercover. This is a text. Agent Jim, give status. Location found, seeking target. Still? You hurry to tap out a response, but Tweel comes first. Hold position, intel working. Feeling like a scolded child, you can do nothing but twiddle your thumbs. At last, the device flashes again. Goods coming through back room, very disappointed in you. Expect emotion. Dang. Already? That ain't cool. Ain't cool at all. Well, at least you have a lead, even if Tweel is furious. The demotion sure stings, though. You hate when your clearance level drops. Behind the main barroom, there's a narrow, dimly lit hallway. Faded, peeling posters of alien entertainment acts are tacked to the wall. It feels like the images watch you. A black door meets you at the end of the hall, guarded by a squat spheroid. His eyes close. His breathing is deep and even. You creep past the guard. He snores softly. You freeze until he goes quiet again. Easy now. You push the door silently. Stealthily. You're in. The door opens onto a square room. The ceiling is a couple of feet higher than your head, but it's stacked with so many crates that the room seems 3 times smaller than it actually is. All sorts of goods spill from the crates onto the floor. You see candy bars, some electronics, a few samples of fruit and seeds. You make a mental note that those are biohazards on the wrong planet. And box upon box of glow-in-the-dark watches. To your surprise, a gray-skinned Skirit sits cross-legged in the middle, scribbling furiously on a notepad. Paper. No way to trace it. Clever. That hit the spot. The Skirit have had connections to Earth for a while. The aliens who landed at Roswell were Skirit. This one is slight, but built compactly with a fair bit of muscle. Black, almond-shaped eyes meet yours, and she smirks. I've got a guard outside, she says flatly. Just because the jackalope ain't here no more don't mean you can push me around. I know. You crouch next to her. Don't worry, no guns, just talk. At that, she snorts, but you notice her looking at you with keen interest. Actually, it's more than interest. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was a very special kind of hunger. But there isn't time for that now. You need to find out where on Earth these goods originate. But how? Let's see. A special kind of hunger? Does that mean she's attracted to me? Let's flatter her with pretty words. You know, you say, I admire you, such an astute entrepreneur. The Skirit blinks. Oh? Yes, edging nearer, you say, you must be awfully clever, organizing a big network like this, from Spheron all the way to... Where exactly? The Skirit smiles sweetly. To get out of my shop. What? Get out. The alien grabs a gun. I know what you're up to, and I've got the entire bar ready to hunt you like a rabid smearp. Caution seems prudent. Back in the main room, you're sorely tempted to get another drink. You know Tweel isn't going to react well to this. It's not fair. You've done the best you could. Best job you could. You'd think the PGPB would take your long years of service into account. But the PGPB only cares about one thing, and it isn't the unique circumstances of its agents. With a heavy heart and sour temper, you message Tweel. Trace goods, unable to locate point of origin. Sorry, Jim. The reply isn't long in coming. In fact, it isn't long at all. Why? Rolling your eyes, you slouch lower at the table. Attempts failed. No, Jim. You failed. Well, dang, guys. My heart is broken. It takes all your self-restraint not to snap at her. Sometimes Tweel works on your last nerve. Another message from her. Hold position. Great, just great. That means a crew from Intel are tracking things down. It's going to take a while, so you spend the next hour or so brooding. Maybe you can buy a wee cottage somewhere or set yourself up nicely with some chickens and a nice vegetable garden. The illegitimate warp gate is in Scotland. Ooh. Ouch, We're going to Scotland. Hey, I've been to Scotland. No more messages are coming. Disappointed you cannot handle this. Demotion for you. Clearance level will drop. Outside the bar, you pull your coat tighter against the rain and sigh. You are completely wiped. Head down, you trudge back through the dives and low-life bars, past the neon festoon strip, and back to the vacant lot. But on reaching it, you stop and stare. That's funny. You don't remember your ship being that broken. There's a jagged hole where one of your transport's engines used to be. Metal glints around the hole like teeth around a wide-open mouth. Your mouth is wide open, too, in shock. Then your communicator buzzes again. Of course. Agent? Hello? She pauses. Agent, is that you? Yes, it is. You just take a deep breath. Someone junked my ship. What? Tweel, eye up. She inhales sharply. The line buzzes. We can handle this later. For now, I need you to get to Virginia. Mothman is terrorizing picnickers in Shenandoah Valley. You can resume your investigation after, but this is an emergency. Get yourself a ship and get to Virginia. If no one is coming to get you, you've got to figure out a way to get off this planet and back to Earth. And here, you've been hoping for a hot meal and a long sleep. Suck it up, Buttercup. What's your move? I have some money, so I'll hire a ship. Sneak onto a tourist ship. Yeah, let's hire a ship. While your last trip to Spheron was a bit of a blur and you do remember where the docks are, there are a number of ships refueling and you walk up and down the rows admiring their gleaming metallic sides. 3 captains lounge on the docks, swapping racy stories and tales of daring do. You recognize the spheroid as a competent pilot. There's a T2, or Tattoo, whatever we called him last time, who looks down on her luck, and a Hearsus is poring over the schematics of a really fast ship. 3 captains, 3 different aliens. What's it going to be? Well, the Hearsus is the one that we've been dealing with, like the Yeti thing that we've been dealing so far. Do we want to stick to the Yeti thing? These people look pretty rough. Let's do that, the Hearsus. The Hearsus eyes you at the minute you approach. Looking for a charter, he barks. You're a little stunned. To Earth. Hearsus chuckles. Earth, eh? Know it well. Plenty of my kind there. His laughter cuts off as abruptly as it began. Don't like Earth. Should have guessed. Well, you say you don't have to stay. Just stop long enough to drop me off. Presuming I take you, he pushes auburn fur from his eyes. Don't like Earth, after all. Do you like money? The Hearsus makes a show of stretching. Sure. How's this? You write an offer on a scrap of paper and hand it to him. Even with all your technology you've seen in the last decades, you still like paper best. Call it a relic of your 19th century upbringing. The Hearsus grunts. I'll do it. Get in the ship. We're leaving now. Really? Before I change my mind. Get in. Virginia in February has a kind of bleak, desolate beauty. Long, yellow grass clumps around shuttered farmhouses set back from the road. You pass a few after you've landed and changed into civilian clothes. It's easy to imagine a simpler time, summers of nostalgia. Now there's only the wind through broken glass, rattling bare branches, and disturbing the few remaining patches of green. Seriously, these people are picnicking? Sightseers, more like. It wouldn't be the first time the translator ship hasn't gotten things quite right. Excuse me. Oh well. The Blue Ridge Mountains crouch on the horizon like a bank of storm clouds. You set off into the woods, squeezing through bracken and getting your boots stuck in the moist, russet-colored soil. Thankfully, your communicator is primed for use on Earth. Besides, Earth has less fluvian array pollution than some of the busier corners of the galaxy. Long story short, you can always track things more easily in your own neck of the woods. Let's track on. After sustaining soaked boots, muddy elbows, and a branch snagging in your hair, you emerge from the woods. Tall hickory trees, their thin branches grasping at the sky like fingers, border the clearing. They're interspersed with delicate birches that sparkle like silver in the winter light. And there, pressed against a fallen log, an older couple trembles, their denim-clad knees knocking together. Who goes there? The man shouts. I feel like Monster Hunter never is going to get me to the right place. But I kind of like to see what happens if I say it. Gosh, I don't know what I want to do. This is why I wish I was streaming or something so you guys could tell me. Let's tell them I'm an eccentric writer. The older man pops up like a jack-in-the-box. Writer, you say? The woman follows suit. Eccentric, you say? Roaming the countryside for inspiration, I say. You stretch, inhaling the moist air deeply. It almost reminds you of tramping the countryside before your world changed, before your life ended in a way. How are you folks today? The woman's shoulders hunch. Enough jibber-jabber. Duck down here with us. There's a monster about. Behind the fallen log, you get your first good look at the couple. Probably in their early 60s, both of them. He's wearing one of those duck hunter hats with ear flaps. She's got a knitted purple scarf thrown around her shoulders. Both can't seem to stop shaking, even though it really isn't that cold. You do your best to be soothing. Now what's going on? A monster, the woman bursts out. Oh, it was like a demon come to life, taller than Bill here, with ashen skin, wings like a bat, and its eyes, the most terrible glowing red eyes. Although you paste a polite smile on your face, you're sighing inside. Mothman, no question. As though reading your mind, the man adds, It's Mothman, no question. Okay, Pro, how do you handle this? Let's get them to flee to safety. You rearrange your features into something resembling surprise. That really ought to include acting ability under the PGB's required skills. Gee, Mothman? To your ears it sounds false, but the old couple nods solemnly. Maybe you're just getting cynical after so many years. Scrunching down on the decaying leaves, you surreptitiously check your communicator. Mothman's near, but holding his distance. For now, anyway. The old man spreads his arms wide, mimicking Mothman's wings. It was him, all right. A big freak, or maybe an alien, jumped from that beach there. Come on, Mothman. Okay, everybody, that is going to do it for this episode. We will figure out what's up with the Mothman in the next episode. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope the quality of the audio is a little bit better as I figure out Premiere CS6, because I've been using CS5. I hope that you will like this video, that you will comment on it, and that you will subscribe to the channel. I've got Dishonored 2 also on the channel. If you like this type of game, go back and watch my playthrough of Choice of Rebels Uprising. I played through that, and I'll be playing the Showdown. It's something. It's like a Western version of this game after I finish the Yeti's Parole Officer. So please do leave me a comment and let's chat. And I will see you in the next video. I love you very much. Bye bye.